After you retire, what will you do with all your free time? Are you worried you might get bored? I'm always surprised when people say they think they'll be bored in retirement. Some people say they don't want to retire and they'd rather keep working because they don't know what they would do with themselves all day. I never seem to find enough time to do all the things I want to do. With 20, 30, or even 40 years of freedom ahead of you, what will you do? I think the key to a happy retirement is having a plan that balances fun, purpose, and personal growth. The world is changing. We're fitter and more capable in our old age than ever before. 70 is the new 50. There are plenty of ways to enjoy yourself in retirement without spending a lot of money. Having activities you love is a must for a happy retirement, and yet there are some people who can't seem to find anything they want to do. One of the most incredible things about retirement is the time you'll have to try new activities. Picturing your new life and what you'll be doing in retirement is an important part of your retirement planning. You've probably spent at least some time thinking about what you'll do in retirement. How will you fill your days? Where will you go? What will you do? In retirement, you have more options than ever before with how to spend your time. Your days are filled with endless possibilities. You can finally enjoy doing all those things you never had time to do when you were working. But because there seems to be many people who think they'll be bored in retirement, I thought I'd come up with a list of 100 fun things to do in retirement. So start a retirement bucket list. Get out a paper and pencil. There's got to be at least a couple things from my list that you can add to your bucket list. Start by picking a few activities, then create your own retirement adventure plan. There's no way I can memorize 100 items, so I am going to have to look at my notes a little for this one. I've grouped them into 5 different categories. Number 1 is health and fitness, because health is wealth and you can live longer. 2 is fun. These are activities that are just for fun. 3 is work-like activities, either actual work or things that feel productive. Number 4 is social connections. This is connections with friends, family, and community. And 5 is mental stimulation, keeping your brains sharp. So here we go. In the health and fitness category, I have 24 activities. Get in shape, exercise, go for long walks, hike, bike, kayak, paddleboard. Swim, jog, run, do marathons, yoga, meditation, weightlifting, biking, skiing, pickleball, golf. Bake, cook, take cooking classes, work on healthy eating. Cook your way through an entire cookbook. Write a cookbook. Now in the fun category, I have 34 activities because we want to have fun in retirement. Go to concerts, go antiquing, go window shopping, bird watching, fishing, camping, astronomy, stargazing, watch sunrises, sunsets, go on picnics, go geocaching, brew your own beer, make your own wine, go wine tasting, crafting, jewelry making, knitting, sewing, embroidery, macrame, painting, arrange flowers, grow indoor plants, garden, woodworking, restore furniture. Travel, try a house swap, take road trips, take day trips, go abroad, take up photography, adopt a pet. Now in the work-like activities, I have 12. Become a consultant, become an entrepreneur, become a mentor, start a side hustle, find a fun part-time job, volunteer, take online classes, redecorate your home, declutter, do home improvement projects, remodel your house, downsize your house. Now in the social connections category, I have 10. Spend time with your grandkids, spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, join a club, connect with neighbors, attend community events, reach out to old friends, make new friends, participate in your local senior center activities, connect with people online through social media or online forums. In the mental stimulation category, I have 20. Do jigsaw puzzles, crossword puzzles, Sudoku. Word searches, logic puzzles, memory games. Play board games, card games, online games, video games. Read, join a book club, learn an instrument, learn a new language, write a book, journal, start a blog, write your memoirs, work on genealogy, read the newspaper daily. Phew! So what should you do in retirement? Do what makes you happy. Wes Moss, the author of You Can Retire Sooner Than You Think, found that the happiest retirees have on average 3.6 core pursuits. He calls these hobbies on steroids, so find a few activities that you enjoy doing and add them to your retirement bucket list. Get out of your comfort zone and try something new. That's where all the good stuff happens. People who thrive in retirement are people who have a purpose and something to do each day. People need something to spend their time on. Sleeping in, scrolling social media, and watching TV will get boring after a few weeks or months. I think you need a passion, a project, a small business, hobbies, or something productive to spend 10 to up to 40 hours a week on. So expand your existing hobbies and try new ones to see what you like. Without having a plan prior to retirement, people can become depressed and unhealthy versions of themselves. And it's not just because they're sitting around all day. Some people aren't aware of how active and mentally stimulated even the simplest of jobs kept them. You need to have something you truly enjoy doing when you retire, or you might get bored. It's a thing. What I think is fun will be very different from what other people think is fun. You have to try different things to figure out what you love doing. By the way, if you want to hear a story about how unfun my morning was this morning, stay tuned till the very end after the quote. Many of us have never had the kind of time retirement brings. If you haven't figured out what you love doing, you may feel overwhelmed. Try things out before you retire. Update your bucket list as you try them. My original bucket list before I retired had many of the things I enjoy doing now. But there were a few things on there that I tried and they just weren't for me. I made the time while I was working to try some different things and see if they were a good fit. I read this after reading Wes Moss's book. He says to find the things you love to do before you retire. So make a bucket list of all the things you want to do in retirement. It gives you something to look forward to and you won't feel lost or without a purpose when you retire. There's actually a worksheet in the middle of this book for you to fill in the 20 wildest things you've always wanted to try. He says life begins at the end of your comfort zone. This worksheet prompted me to make my bucket list. I now have so many things I enjoy doing, I don't have time to do them all, and I prefer it that way. I don't think I'll ever get bored in retirement. By the way, if you've watched my videos before and you notice that the background is different, my brother surprised me with a light box, which was really nice of him. So I'm going to try recording in different areas of my house. I'm in my living room right now. What did I forget? What activities are on your list? If you want to share, feel free to leave a comment. If you're seeing me for the first time, hi, I'm Julie and this channel's Happy on Monday. Thanks for joining me. If you found this helpful, please like. And if you're interested in retiring early, consider subscribing. I'm going to leave you with a quote by Abraham Lincoln. And in the end, it's not the years in your life that counts, it's the life in your years. Hope to see you again soon. So, most of the time I have so much fun every day in retirement, but this morning was not fun. So this morning I woke up early. It was like 6:30 in the morning. About a little before 7, I went out in my backyard and my backyard was flooded. The neighbors' sprinklers, I don't know if they broke or something, but I had 3-4 inches of water throughout almost my whole backyard. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So I took pictures first of all, and then I got dressed really quick because I was still in my pajamas. I ran next door, and these neighbors, they don't answer their door. They're a little different, and I've tried to knock on their door before. Like one time I got their mail on accident, so I took it over there and I knew they were home, but they wouldn't answer their door, and I was worried that would happen, and it did. So I rang the doorbell and I knocked and I rang the doorbell, and meanwhile my backyard is just continuing to fill up with water. And pretty soon I'm not an aggressive person. But pretty soon I start yelling. I keep saying, hello, open the door, please open the door. And I'm banging and I'm knocking and I'm ringing the doorbell. Their dogs are barking. I know they're home because their cars are there, and I heard somebody out in the backyard earlier that morning. So I knew they were awake too. They just don't like to answer the door. I don't know if they think it's an advertiser. I don't know what. So they finally came to the door, and I told them that their sprinkler must have broken and they were flooding my backyard. So the lady says, oh, I don't know how to turn off the sprinklers. Can you turn it off? And so she opens her garage and I turn off their sprinklers. And I ask them nicely if they could get their sprinklers fixed before they turn their sprinklers on again. They're renters. It's a rental house. And hopefully they'll do that. But I walked through my backyard. I was looking at everything, and I have these vents, the crawl space vents, and I looked in one of them and it was full of water, and I thought, uh-oh, I hope that doesn't mean there's water in my crawl space. So I went in the house, and I like to think of myself as a strong, independent woman, but I am terrified of the crawl space. I have to remove the access door, and there's no way I'm going in the crawl space. There's spiders, and I've seen too many scary movies. I was just not going to go in there. But I put my big girl panties on and I lifted that access door off, and I looked in there, and sure enough, there was water in there. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? It's 7 a.m. So I'm thinking, I guess I could rent a sump pump or buy one or something. I've never used one, but I know what they are. But I knew that the places where I would go buy one of those probably wouldn't be open until maybe 9. So I thought, well, what can I do? So I got a bucket. And at first I tried taping a cup on a long yardstick because I was not going to get down there. It didn't look like it was too much water, that it was like the whole crawl space wasn't flooded, right? It was just, I don't know, a really big puddle that I wanted to see if I could get it out of there. So I tried taping a cup on a yardstick, and that didn't work. So then I got a big bucket, a 5-gallon bucket, and towels and a rake. And I would drop the towels down in there and let them soak up, and I would use the rake to lift the towels out and put them in the bucket and wring them out. And I did this for 2 hours, but I actually got most of the water out of there, probably at least 2 gallons of water by wringing out towels and doing it that way. So now I have a fan blowing on my crawl space, hopefully to dry up any more moisture that's in there. And then, because my son, my youngest son lives about 10 minutes from me, but he's camping. So I didn't have anyone to call. I didn't know what to do. So anyway, I'll keep you updated. I don't know if anything's damaged or if they're gonna turn their sprinklers on without fixing it, but that was my unfun morning this morning.